Imagine the lights dimming, the crowd's anticipation rising, and a performer ready to give it their all. But instead of applause, tragedy strikes. While many of us enjoy the idea of a performer collapsing into the arms of an adoring audience as a dramatic moment, the reality is far less romantic. For some artists, their final performance came unexpectedly, as they took their last bow in front of a stunned crowd. Here are the stories of unforgettable performers who tragically passed away while doing what they loved, performing on stage. Number 9. Nick Menza, the drummer who died mid-beat. Nick Menza was the pulse behind Megadeth's iconic rhythms. As a talented drummer, he played on legendary albums like Rust in Peace and Countdown to Extinction, contributing to some of the most intense metal tracks of the 90s. After leaving the band, he didn't stop drumming. He joined OHM, continuing his musical journey. But in May 2016, during a live performance in Studio City, California, Menza's heart unexpectedly gave out. The 51-year-old collapsed during the third song of their set, a moment that tragically would be his final one. Despite being rushed to the hospital, Menza was pronounced dead. His unexpected death left fans and fellow musicians in disbelief. His legacy, however, lives on through his unparalleled talent. Number 8. Dimebag Darrell, a senseless tragedy. On December 8, 2004, the world of metal was rocked by a brutal tragedy. Dimebag Darrell Abbott, a guitarist known for his work in Pantera and his subsequent band Damageplan, was on stage performing at the Alrosa Villa in Columbus, Ohio. What was supposed to be another high-energy rock show quickly turned into a nightmare. During the band's set, a deranged ex-Marine named Nathan Gale stormed the stage and opened fire, killing Abbott and 3 others. The chaos was unimaginable, with fans witnessing the senseless violence in real time. The 25-year-old Gale was shot and killed by a police officer before he could claim more lives. While there are still theories about Gale's motivations, the deaths remain a tragic and unexplained loss for the rock community. Number 7. Sib Hashian, the drummer who died at sea. John Sib Hashian's drumming was part of Boston's signature sound, contributing to their massive success in the 1970s. His work on albums like Boston and Don't Look Back made him a staple of rock music. But even decades after the band's peak, Hashian continued to perform, staying true to his craft. In March 2017, Hashian was performing on the Legends of Rock cruise, a floating tribute to classic rock, when tragedy struck. While behind his drum kit, Hashian suddenly collapsed, suffering a fatal heart attack at the age of 67. Just months before, he'd been diagnosed with kidney cancer, but his passing was still unexpected. It was a bittersweet farewell for a musician who had provided the beats for generations of rock fans. Number 6. Colonel Bruce Hampton, the jam band legend's final performance. Known as the grandfather of the jam band scene, Colonel Bruce Hampton's influence on the world of funky guitar music is immeasurable. He was a member of numerous bands, including the Hampton Grease Band and Quark Alliance, and he was instrumental in shaping the avant-garde rock genre. In May 2017, Hampton was honored with a star-studded concert in Atlanta, where friends and fellow musicians gathered to celebrate his 70th birthday. But what started as a tribute show turned into an eerie farewell. As the band played, Hampton collapsed on stage, seemingly as part of a dramatic, "we're not worthy" gesture. But it soon became clear that this was no act. Hampton had passed away on stage. His death, though tragic, is remembered as an almost poetic end for a man whose entire life had been spent in the spotlight of music. Number 5. Tommy Cooper, a heart attack that ended a comedy career. Tommy Cooper was a beloved Welsh prop comedian and magician, known for his slapstick humor and quirky performances. In 1984, he was appearing on the live UK variety show Live from Her Majesty's, where he was performing his usual routine of comedy and magic tricks. But during his performance, Cooper suddenly collapsed. What many in the audience initially thought was part of his comedic act turned out to be much more tragic. Cooper had suffered a heart attack while on live television. The show quickly cut to an unscheduled commercial break, and Cooper was rushed to the hospital, where he was pronounced dead. His sudden death on stage remains one of the most memorable and heartbreaking moments in television history. Number 4. Owen Hart, the wrestling tragedy that shocked the world. Owen Hart, a wrestler and member of the legendary Hart family, had built a career of incredible feats inside the ring. As part of the WWE, he was known for his athleticism, charisma, and sense of humor. In May 1999, Hart was preparing for an elaborate entrance at the Over the Edge pay-per-view event, where he was supposed to be lowered from the rafters into the ring. However, the rigging malfunctioned and Hart fell to the mat, landing awkwardly. 16,000 fans in Kansas City's Kemper Arena witnessed the horror unfold. Hart was immediately rushed to the hospital but was pronounced dead shortly thereafter. The tragedy was not just a loss for wrestling fans but for the entire sports entertainment world. Number 3. Tiny Tim, the quirky performer who collapsed mid-song. Tiny Tim, with his unique high-pitched voice and eccentric style, was a one-of-a-kind performer. Known for his 1968 hit Tiptoe Through the Tulips, Tiny Tim was a beloved figure in the world of novelty music. His quirky persona made him a household name, and his performances were often filled with eccentricity and charm. On November 30th, 1996, Tiny Tim performed at a benefit show in Minneapolis. During his rendition of his signature song, he suddenly stopped playing and told his wife he wasn't feeling well. Moments later, he collapsed on stage and passed away a few hours later at a nearby hospital. It was later determined that he had likely died of cardiac arrest. Tiny Tim's passing was a poignant moment for fans who loved his unusual yet endearing style. Number 2. Mark Sandman, the voice behind Morphine's unsettling groove. Mark Sandman was the charismatic singer and bassist for the alternative rock band Morphine. With his signature deep voice and use of low bass tunings, Sandman helped create the band's signature sound, a spooky, groovy, and unsettling style that captured the imagination of fans in the 90s. On July 3, 1999, Sandman was performing with Morphine at an Italian music festival outside of Rome when he suddenly collapsed mid-performance. Sandman had just stopped playing when he fell to the ground. He was rushed to the hospital, but tragically, he was pronounced dead in the ambulance. His death was attributed to a heart attack, and the music world lost a truly unique and talented artist. Number 1. Barbara Weldens, the singer who was electrocuted on stage. French singer Barbara Weldens had a promising career ahead of her. After releasing her first album in 2017, she quickly gained popularity, becoming a rising star in the French music scene. She was performing at the Léo Ferré Festival in Goudron, France when tragedy struck. Weldens was performing barefoot, and as she stood on stage, she unknowingly stepped on a malfunctioning piece of electrical equipment. The resulting shock sent her into cardiac arrest, and she collapsed, dying on stage at just 35 years old. It was a bizarre and heartbreaking accident, one that took the life of a young and talented performer before she could truly reach her full potential. And there you have it, performers who took their final bow in the most unexpected ways. Now, if you enjoyed this roller coaster of a ride, don't forget to hit that like button. It's easier than making it through an encore performance. Subscribe for more wild stories, and remember, life's a stage, so don't forget to take your bow, and maybe a defibrillator just in case. Catch you in the next one, where hopefully, no one collapses mid-performance.